Trump for calling out his lies, and as Newsom considers his own run for president.
He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies.
Newsom vowing to fight what he calls the lawlessness.
You can investigate me. You can harass me. Put my name on every and any enemies list you have, but leave my wife and family out of your personal vendetta.
The DOJ has yet to comment. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Also in California, the Air Force is investigating why a B-52 bomber crashed and burst into flames after taking off from Edwards Air Force Base, killing all 8 people on board. It happened the day after 12 people died when a plane full of skydivers crashed in Missouri.
NTSB investigators are starting to gather evidence at the scene in Butler, Missouri. The plane crashed not long after takeoff from a private airfield, with at least one witness saying it sounded like the plane was losing power. The wreckage will be taken from the crash site and more closely examined to find a definitive cause.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. The Federal Reserve is about to start a 2-day meeting to assess the economy and rising inflation. The first one for new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh, but no rate cut is expected when they wrap up the meeting tomorrow, despite the president picking Warsh to replace Jerome Powell, who faced a lot of Trump criticism for not cutting rates enough. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after big gains and a Dow record high. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Tuesday. It is June 16th, 2026, and you're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. It's News Radio for South Texas. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, and we have AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on standby. We got lots of weather to talk about with him. We continue with a flash flood watch today, tomorrow. It has been extended into Thursday. And then what happens after that? And what about that tropical something and the Gulf? Where's that headed? We'll speak with him in about 3 minutes. Cameron County issuing a disaster declaration to help coordinate its response to very heavy rain and some flooding in the area. The mayor of Weslaco also signed a local disaster declaration yesterday after very heavy rain and some ponding and some flooding in the Weslaco area. The National Weather Service office now expecting between 5 to 10 inches of rain to fall in the RGV before everything is done, likely by Thursday. The National Weather Service has extended the flood watch, the flash flood watch for the region until Thursday morning. Meantime, here in the area and just in the Gulf, forecasters are going to start tracking a weather system that could become the first named tropical system of the season in the Atlantic.
The National Hurricane Center is following a disturbance over northeastern Mexico that has a good chance of development over the next week. The system will enter the Gulf early Wednesday, where environmental conditions slightly favor its development. The initial track sends the system east along the Texas coastline toward Louisiana. If it becomes a tropical storm late Wednesday or Thursday, it will be named Arthur. I'm Rory O'Neill.
In other news, the city of McAllen is launching a new system to alert you in the event of any big emergency. So McAllen announcing the Everbridge Emergency Alert System. Registering for the system is free and can be customized. And in order to be a part of it, again, McAllen residents, you can sign up by texting the word McAllen to the number 888-777. And in other news this morning, this energy note from New Mexico to California. The nation's biggest wind farm is set to start running this month. And yes, it will send electricity to the greater Southwest from Arizona to California.
The SunZia project in New Mexico has 916 turbines. That makes it more than 3 times larger than any other U.S. wind farm. A 550-mile power line will carry most of that electricity west, where hot weather can push power demand higher. The project will give the Southwest a major new source of electricity once the project is fully running. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
It's 7:09 on News Talk 710 KURV. It is AccuWeather time, and we want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us AccuWeather. Grow them right with Purina certified feed. All your animals, your livestock, grow them right at Martin Farm and Ranch. If you stop by, give Dougie a big hug from us. Meteorologist from AccuWeather, Jason Caterina joining us. I don't know where to start, dude. We got so much amazing news and weather the past.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll have a little more time next hour, but yeah. So, well, let's start with like the incredible amount of rain they got in Weslaco yesterday.
Rain totals,
6 inches is what I got at the Mid Valley Airport over the last. That's a 48-hour total. The 24-hour total I think is going to cut off some of what they got. So, but the 24-hour total is 4.18 inches. So,
okay,
that's a lot of rain. And
in a short amount of time.
Short amount of time. Yeah. So
yesterday.
So we've got this tropical rainstorm that's going to try and form up here. Well, it is going to form up. That's going to bring us periods of heavy rain and some thunderstorms. So again, turn around, don't drown, don't try and cross flooded areas. Watch your phone for flood warnings popping up. Flash flood warnings popping up likely as we go throughout the day and tonight. So even some tropical moisture as we head through the morning tomorrow before it starts to pull away off to the north. Now, right now, it looks like it's going to hug the coast enough that it may not form up into much more than a tropical depression. So it wouldn't be named. But if it did slide a little bit further off the coast into the Gulf, with how warm it is out there in the water, there's a chance it could make tropical storm strength. But
answer me this.
I mean, that would have to be, that would have to be like the perfect.
So where is it? I'm looking at
it's really forming up right over the top of us. Honestly, the area, the low pressure is like straight over the top of us. Okay. I mean, if you look at the radar, you can kind of see that it bends right where we are. Mm-hmm. And so if you kind of widen out a little bit and look at the general shape of it, you can see like the bend right where we are. So you've got like kind of the circulation forming right there where you can see that it's the bottom part here to the south is kind of bowed out, looking east, moving eastward, and then the top of it's kind of rotating back a little bit.
I got to ask you because I know we're going to run time on this segment. It doesn't look. Are you sure we're going to get a lot of rain out of this? Because looks like we're going to be on the weak side of this. Most of the rain's on the Gulf already.
But there's going to be some heavy rain in spots. This tropical moisture that we've had should bring some heavy rain in spots. So just again, erring on the side of caution as some uncertainty where this thing forms. So you're absolutely right. We're on kind of the way side. It's forming up, and we're kind of on the lee side of it here, where it's going to be a little lesser in the way of stuff, I believe, as well. So, but again, somebody's going to get some heavy rain as we go. So be cautious.
All the activities in the Gulf and the curvature up to Corpus, up to Houston, south of us as well. We're on the east side. The valley's on the east side of probably all this energy. I just don't know. I'll be okay with it if we just get some cloud cover the next couple of days. You were telling me that we're looking at 105 on Thursday.
I know.
We'll save that for another day, another conversation. Okay, thanks for the update, pal. Now we'll check with you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on 710 KURV. Yeah, the images from the radar from Corpus and Brownsville will tell you everything. Yeah, there's a tropical low. It's probably over us, right over us. And as is customary, the east, the left side or the west side of the storm usually is the weaker side. You can see all the energy in the Gulf right now. So it's in the forecast. It doesn't mean it's going to become a reality, but today was supposed to be the heavier rain day. Looks like yesterday was, but let's see what pops up today. It's in the forecast. We've got a flash flood watch today. And tomorrow, I think they're going to pull that. I'll be betting on that. And then it goes into Thursday morning, and then super, super hot on Thursday. Your station for AccuWeather, News Talk 710 KURV. Highs today, hopefully with a cloud cover, should be in the low to mid-80s. Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Stick around. Going to have a live conversation with a friend from COSTEP, and they've got a new report on the one metropolitan statistical area idea. And we've been talking about this for decades. Well, the metrics might be there for us to, do we need to pursue this? Do we need to go door knocking in Washington, D.C.? I'm not sure. But I think the metrics, it's in the commute, people. How many folks from here, let's say McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh, are going to work at the, at SpaceX or at the coast, back and forth every day? The numbers might be there. So we'll visit that coming up at about 7:16. So join us for that conversation. Time is 7:14 on the Valley's Morning News. there might be some big changes to Texas elections around the corner.
Efforts to close the Republican primary are taking steam now that Governor Abbott is on board. Don Huffines, who is running for comptroller, is a longtime backer. He says it will prevent activist Democrats from casting a vote for moderate Republicans.
If they've got a boring primary, they often come in and vote in the Republican Party primary to get the most liberal Democrat candidate elected.
The Texas Secretary of State, who'd been fighting the effort, has stepped down.
That's Michael Board with that report. Time is 7:14 on News Talk 710 KURV, Valley's morning news for a Tuesday. One unified market, all the data, the housing, the employment, the education, all the demographics, all the metrics under one report. Let's unite Brownsville and Metro McAllen. What do you say? That's one MSA. We'll talk about the potential for that next on 710 KURV.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infinity in Edinburgh. You are invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinities available now. Drive your own 2026 Infinity QX80 and save with an amazing 0% APR for 60 months. And all Infinities come available with the Infinity Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infinity on the Court of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinities online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
This segment is sponsored by McAllen International Airport.
Later tonight, your Houston Astros host the Detroit Tigers. First pitch at 7:10. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV.
News Talk 710 KURV is your station in the Valley for Houston Astros play-by-play. Join the Astros weeknights and weekends. Big thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Director of COSTEP, which is the Council of South Texas Economic Progress. Did I get it right? I'm trying to remember that. Adam Gonzalez is back in the studio. Welcome back, my brother. So he's got a new report. He told me about this last week, in fact, that when he was here. I have a report on one MSA. Like, what is that? What is that? Some working people tuning in right now. One metropolitan statistical area. Markets across the nation are described as metropolitan statistical areas, MSA. You got Houston, Chicago, Miami, whatever, so on and so forth. Here in South Texas, we have two MSAs. We have one for generally like Cameron County and one for Hidalgo County. Well, we identify one university, one hospital system, one funding area for highway systems and all that. Why not one market where we're able to sell ourselves? So, Adam, tell me about putting this study together. This was something that Bill Summers at the Valley Chamber championed, like 30 years ago. Things are so different now, which I think maybe the numbers might be there. So tell me about your effort to put this together.
we started, of course, back in 2020, marketing the region as a regional entity all the way to Laredo.
Yeah.
But when we look at an MSA, we find ourselves that we're still marketing ourselves and promoting ourselves independently and trying to garner funds independently as independent counties. And that's a huge disadvantage for our region right now. National economic development programs, corporate site selectors, and governmental funding formulas look at MSAs, for these fundings.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest things that came out of this report is that if we look at the four-county region holistically, we come out at number 42 from 393 MSAs in the nation.
Cameron, Hidalgo, Star, Willacy. That's the Valley. That's the
Correct.
RGV. So it would be 44, you said?
42. We'd end up at 42.
Right,
We'd be in the likes like Oklahoma City, Louisville, Memphis, and Richmond, Virginia. So we'd be up there. As single counties, we don't even top the 60 as individual county. Not one county, which of course Hidalgo County being the largest of them.
Which is a darn shame. Now, are we losing out on landing some business as a result of we're not identifying ourselves to the world as one metropolitan statistical area?
Well, I think we're losing out on grant money and funding for infrastructure, and also corporate site selectors looking at us as a holistic region and having the workforce available and the types of incentives that we can provide as a region versus individual counties.
Looking at the industry we've been landing of late, and thanks to Elon Musk at the coast and all the big companies coming to the area, forgive me for playing devil's advocate, but I mean, do we really need to go through all that trouble for one MSA? I'm going back again to the funding issue of some of the infrastructure for the area.
Well, I think in order to make a big impact, I think the biggest thing that when we started this, the biggest thing we looked at is a GDP per capita being roughly about $28,000 for this part of the region. Well, that's less than 50% of what the state and the national average is.
Yeah.
So really how we measure the economic impact and how we measure our region would be as a GDP per capita.
Yeah.
So being at 27,000 and Texas and the nation being like at 65,000 of GDP per capita, that in itself tells you we need to increase our primary dollars coming in by increasing more companies relocating and expanding to this region.
Yeah, you wait about 12 to 18 months and watch that number go through the roof with all the new millionaires for SpaceX over there and everybody making six-figure salaries, setting up the LNG plants and tier one manufacturing over here that they said was like six-figure salaries as well. In about a year, with those salary numbers probably will be much higher. Compared to right now.
But you got to remember, we still boast, and which is a bad number to boast about, is roughly over 20% poverty level. I think it's like 23 to 26%, depending on what data you're looking at.
Yeah.
So really, economic development is not just about uplifting, individual communities or individual segments of populations, but uplifting the entire population in the region.
Which we need more industry. And the focus in the last time I saw you, about a week ago, you were telling me about that report where economic development entities need to focus on manufacturing. We need to focus on big industry more than just the nice national food chains or restaurant chains or touristy things. It's manufacturing. And we are getting some of that. And we can, I would imagine, if we lock arms and make sure that the recruitment effort is for tier one or support services for tier one.
And in order for tier one, tier two, or even an OEM to start looking at us, we need to have the numbers. We need to show the impact that the region has as a whole. They're not going to look at us if our population, our workforce is not at the level that they're looking at.
No, and I could just hear Joaquin Spalmer and all the gang over there saying, you need to look at it from the Rioplex perspective. Is more than just the valley. It's northern Mexico. Matamoros has a lot of strength. Reynosa as well. We got international manufacturing nearby. So just the region, which Monterrey's not far away and all that. So we could look at it as an international. There is that international designation. For
from our perspective,
well, right?
We call the region Rio South Texas, which is two U.S. regions, which is the Laredo region and the Rio Grande region, but also encompassing the 10 municipios that lie directly to the north in Tamaulipas across the border.
Yeah.
So we are looking at it holistically. When we looked at the MSA report, we couldn't though include the Mexico side because then they wouldn't qualify as an MSA, as a binational MSA. Let's put it that way.
But there are binational though, right? I seem to recall Bill Summers telling me about this. So Sarge, we need to look at it on, they have it in Canada, for example. We got northern cities, and then they look at the Canadian markets right across the border, and we could do the same. We should do something like that. Oh, that was a long time ago. Again, when the economy was very different.
We have trouble enough, trying to bring together 4 counties, and then we're trying to bring another state in the Mexico side. That would be
Let's
difficult.
concentrate on hurting these cats here in South Texas first. Adam Gonzalez is with CoStep. They have produced a new report as a result of a client that asked for. Let's look at the numbers. 1 metropolitan statistical area. What would the market look like if we combine all 4 counties? Of course, the stronger would be Hidalgo County, McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh, and Weslaco. You got the other MSA, which is Brownsville, Harlingen, San Benito. Fuse those together. Can you share some data, what it looks like?
Yeah, roughly in population would be right at 1.5 million, let's say. Like, as I mentioned earlier, would be number 42 out of 393 MSAs. A massive $4.9 billion in GDP, for the 4 counties, and about over 657,000 workers that is the impact number that companies would be looking at. Also, the educational system, the robust educational system. We have institutions here, 4-year and 2-year institutions that just in 4 of them, which is UTRGV, A&M, STC, TSTC, and Texas Southmost College, we enroll over almost 60,000 students annually here. So those numbers, the housing stability, we have a greater home ownership here than we do in the state of Texas, and as a national average. We're at roughly at about 67%, and the state is at 62, and the national average is 65 of home ownership. So there are numbers. Our commuting patterns, about 14% of our tracked workers commute across county lines. So to us, if we look at it, the county lines are really invisible for us as consumers.
Yes, sir. Yeah. 14% commute.
Right.
Cameron County, Hidalgo County, 14 for work
Cameron
daily.
County, Hidalgo, Willacy, and Stark.
What is the trigger then? Is it north of 10? Is it 20? What is it? Because and then who do we argue this for? And then which agency? Valley Chamber, hello. Paco, hello. Somebody pick up this ball and run with it. What are the triggers?
I've had conversations with Paco about it, and he mentioned he was going to show this to his, board and look at it. I think it needs to be really. We need to come together as county judges and mayors and see if this is something they want to do. I think it takes a collective effort. It's not going to be one institution like COSTEP or even the partnership. I think it needs to come together, and we want this as the RGV.
From the Council of South Texas Economic Progress, COSTEP, Director Adam Gonzalez, they got a 1 MSA report. It's available to anyone. You can look at this data, what they put together. I got to take it back. I don't know. This might not be your bailiwick. Forgive me for repeating the question. Do you know what the trigger is to become one?
No, I don't. Yeah. We just started with this. We are going to, but my board has asked me to look into it to define exactly what would need to be done. It could be lobbying, or it could be just with the Office of Budgets, management of budgets. We need to look into this more seriously. I know that it has been looked at it before. It has been talked about it for decades now, and this might be the right time. We definitely need infrastructure dollars if we want to continue to attract new industry to the region. We need to work definitely on our infrastructure first, and continue. We are trying currently to attract new industry, and sometimes the infrastructure issues are the ones that keep us from landing those projects.
Leadership always changes. Elections, they will change the vision. I think at present, looking at the leadership in the counties, the leadership in top cities for the area, I suspect, I don't know, because you speak with them as well, would they warm up to the idea of one MSA now? Or is Brownsville just hot stuff and they're strutting right now, saying, "Oh, we don't need anybody else right now"? What is the general sentiment right now?
I think we always need others. We always need to work together as a region. Regionalism is a powerful tool. Mm-hmm. I think coming together as an MSA and being recognized in MSA will show results, especially in funding formulas, which will get us a lot more attention nationally and internationally.
Mm-hmm. I hope that whatever the trigger is, I hope it is 14%. Or a little less than that. The commute. Bill Summers at the Valley Partnership. May he rest in peace. My mentor. I love that man. It was also Paco's mentor. So Paco's very familiar over at the Valley Partnership running this. I remember he said it was the commute. He said, watch for the commute trends between both counties. I'd be honest with you. I thought when you told me 14%, I thought that was a little low. I thought we had a greater commute between both counties when it came to work.
Yeah. I think those numbers, as you mentioned earlier, will probably increase a little bit larger. Sometimes the data that we look at is not completely out. But as you mentioned in SpaceX, now those are a lot of construction jobs. Okay. Yeah. Once that construction, 8 years from now is finished, those numbers will definitely dissipate a little bit, unless we can bring another type of, a company at that level and that magnitude.
Well, they're definitely. At least Brownsville Economic Development, McAllen is also working something. They got, of course, the high-tech thing with Valley. Usually, you know what they say, it takes money to make money. Well, it takes big industry to lure more industry. The hope is that they can and will, with or without the 1 MSA designation. But to go back to the infrastructure funding, which would make a difference.
I think our biggest KPIs should be the GDP per capita.
Okay.
You know, that really shows how much money's coming in and how much of the community is getting to, you know, earn those funds and be able to spend those funds as well here in the region.
Anybody owning SpaceX stock these days, well, they're going to skew those numbers here. So you got a bunch of millionaires in the area. You don't happen to have any SpaceX stock you want to sell me these days?
No,
right?
I think it's been good for the region. We've gotten attention, and I mean the IPOs are always something to look at and continue to look at.
I got to ask you, the client that asked you for this report, which is in the private industry, what are they hoping to do with that MSA report?
Well, their thought came at a previous meeting where we put out the manufacturing inventory that we have in the region, both the binational region, and her thoughts were, should we revisit this again? So I took it back and just, you know, talked to my board, and so we decided to say, hey, let's put out a report that shows exactly what we would look like if we were an MSA.
Okay.
And even if we don't become an MSA, I think we still need to promote ourselves with these numbers as a collaborative effort, as a 4-county RGV area that is ripe for investment.
Well, what is good about your MSA report is anyone that's putting a folder together presentation at an economic development office can go ahead and grab the COSTAP report and put it on the insert, right? Put it on the insert. So there you go. So that way you can see what the unified market is, despite the fact, because the numbers don't lie.
Right.
You know, we are who we are. There is no border between all 4 counties, especially Cameron County.
Everything we do, all the reports that we do are for public consumption, for public use, and are on our website so that they can use them for promoting or creating materials to promote the region.
I got to ask you, I got seconds left. What's the next step? Is it the partnership? Who is it? Who's going to?
Well, I'm definitely talking to Paco, and you know, talked to him a few weeks ago, and I think, you know, I know he had his visit to the capital, and so now we're back to talking and seeing what we can do about this.
I got him on the calendar, so I'll bring him. I think it's tomorrow or the next day. I'll pound this report over him as well. I'll hit him on the pelona here. Come on, dude. Let's go do the MSA. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
No, thanks for having
me. Appreciate everything you do in the community. Adam Gonzalez with the Council of South Texas Economic Progress. The morning news on News Talk 710 KQRV, your station for Astros baseball. Check of sports up next.
In the Rio Grande Valley, 18-wheeler traffic is heavier than anywhere else in Texas. So if you're involved in an accident, know that big insurance companies will not play fair, because they only care about profits, not your health, not the cost you have incurred, and certainly not your pain and suffering. So if you're involved in an 18-wheeler accident, we will stop insurance companies from taking advantage of you. 1-800-CAR-CLASH.
The J. Gonzalez Law Firm, a force for justice.
Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing is the perfect company to call right now in the event that you got wet ceiling tiles, and that's not good. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing is the top commercial roofer in this entire region, waiting for your call so that they can check for free. It's no gimmick whatsoever. It's for free. They can check if everything's okay at your commercial roofing system. If you got a leak, you've got wet ceiling tiles, you're not okay. And man, you better get that fixed quick. Otherwise, there's going to be a real expensive issue not too far into the future. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, almost 130 years of experience in commercial roofing systems with employees that know all the various materials and systems, the commercial roofing systems, because they cross-train all their people and they cross-train them in safety issues as well. Trust the top name in commercial roofing. They will check the condition of your roofing system free. That's the way they meet you. I'm going to give you a number for you to call or text and get that appointment. 956-655-6178. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, ChamberlainLTD.com.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
I thought those were good for me.
What's healthy for one person may cause inflammation for another. So how do you know what your body actually needs? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase.
Our call letters, KURV. Our frequency, 710 AM. Our specialty, news and talk. News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Texas Rangers lost in the first game of their home series to the Minnesota Twins last night. Final score, 4-2. Mackenzie Gore started the game for Texas, pitching 7 innings, giving up 4 runs on 4 hits, and striking out a season-high 10 batters. With a loss, the Rangers have fallen to 3rd place in the AL West. They'll try and right the ship tonight as they continue their series against the Twins. The Houston Astros had a similar fate to the Rangers last night, falling to the Detroit Tigers by a score of 9-3. The Tigers jumped all over the Astros early, scoring 5 runs in the first 3 innings. The Astros responded with 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd to cut the deficit to 2, but the Tigers' offense was too much for Houston. They'll try and win the second of their 3-game series tonight. The Texas Longhorns baseball team eliminated the Alabama Crimson Tide from the Men's College World Series yesterday, thrashing them by a score of 14-2. With a win, Texas survives another day and will be back in action tonight against Georgia, who the Longhorns lost to 7-1 this past weekend. With your Texas in the Morning Sports Report, I'm Adam C.
AccuWeather says rain is in the forecast. Now, we can tell you that the majority of all the energy is just offshore. It's in the Gulf or north of us, in ranch country between here and Corpus. But that low-pressure system that might become something as it crawls into the Gulf, it's pretty much like over us right now. And you can see the curvature on radar. We're on the weak side of that, so I don't know as far as all the rain, but it's in the forecast just in case. We already had a lot of rain, a lot of flooding in the Mid-Valley. We don't have anywhere to put all the water, so we're under a flash flood watch today, tomorrow, and they're turning off the spigot on Thursday morning. Thunderstorms possible. We got a lot of unsettled air, a lot of moisture in the area, so let's see what happens. Right now, temperatures mostly in the upper 70s, low 80s. Highs today should be in the mid-80s as a result of all the cloud cover and rain. The Border Bridge wait times, and it's 35 minutes at the Hidalgo Bridge, and V&M last we saw was about 20 minutes. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Business news check of your money next on the Valley's Morning News. Here's a good example, right? We got bad weather. You got thunderstorm activity and all that. You just don't want to leave the house. That's what it is. You don't want to leave the house. I don't blame you. So if you call Culligan for only $35 a month, you'll be able to stay indoors, dry, and avoid all the elements, whether it's crazy forecast, 105 degrees on Thursday, right? Or thunder shower activity today. You stay inside and enjoy water. You don't have to worry about driving to H.E. Butt or the big box store to get some bottled water. Just call Culligan. You get your own water purification system and drink healthy water, truly healthy water. Because also that's another advantage with Culligan. Your own water purification system, you don't have to worry about microplastics in the water. That's a big issue. I want to read up on that. Microplastics in bottled water. Because after all, it's plastic bottle holding your purified water. Yeah, not exactly pure water. With Culligan, it will be. Constant stream of truly satiating and truly healthy water from Culligan. Connected to the icebox. Ice cold water on a hot summer day is wonderful. It tastes great. It's Culligan, 956-399-1780.
Experience everything Bird Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh has to offer. Service, selection, and quality. Indulge yourself with bold design and set the standard with comfort and performance in a new 2026 Cadillac XT5 Luxury. Lease one now, just $579. That's right, just $579 per month. More style, more innovation, more you. Make your move. Set yourself apart and discover a new standard of luxury ownership. Visit us online at birdogdencadillac.com or come in today to Bird Ogden Cadillac in Edinburgh, where legends are made.
Dale gas! When it comes to bad weather, being prepared is half the battle. The other half, leave it to Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC. Be prepared this hurricane season and don't let anything take the power away from you, not even the weather. It's never too early to prepare for hurricane season. At Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, we want to help you stay ahead of the storm. Give us a call at 956-686-1353. That's 956-686-1353. Or visit callmightymike.com. We can help you come up with a plan. That's callmightymike.com. Mighty Mike to the rescue.
Some people travel for adventure, some travel for business, and some travel for a bit of both. But they all know the best way from A to B is McAllen International Airport, where flying is always better with the Valley's only ticketless parking and best VIP lounge. And McAllen has more nonstop flights to the best destinations for adventure, business, and a bit of both. Like new daily nonstop service from McAllen to Monterrey, Mexico, for business, adventure, fun, and family. Save a day of business travel time with nonstop flights from McAllen to Austin, Houston, or Dallas. Then find adventure in our state's biggest cities, or experience the best of both worlds when you fly nonstop from McAllen to some of America's most popular convention and vacation cities, like Las Vegas, Orlando, and Phoenix. Travel is about more than going from A to B. It's about going above, beyond, at McAllen International Airport. Fly McAllen at flymfe.com.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Yum Brands has announced it is selling Pizza Hut to private equity firm Long Range Capital for $2.7 billion. The sale caps off years of struggles for Pizza Hut, which has weighed on Yum's overall financial performance. Rival Domino's Pizza has gobbled up market share from Pizza Hut for years. Novo Nordisk said it plans to seek Chinese regulatory approval for its Wegovy weight loss pill very soon as it moves to catch up with rival Eli Lilly in the world's second largest pharmaceutical market. Denmark's Novo and U.S.-based Lilly believe weight loss pills could attract patients reluctant to use injections. Oil prices have dropped this morning by at least 2% after President Trump said the U.S. has reached a preliminary peace deal with Iran that will reopen the Strait of Hormuz. West Texas Intermediate at roughly $78 a barrel, Brent at $80. Futures are up this morning after the Dow closed at a record high again yesterday following the Iran-U.S. peace deal. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says highs today should be in the low to mid 80s as a result of the cloud cover and some of the rain in the area. Yeah, if you look at the Brownsville radar, you can see the curvature. You can see the low that is in ranch country, well north of us. In fact, so far north, it curves from Laredo back to Corpus and is producing a lot of shower activity at the coast. Good morning, South Padre. We've got a line extending all the way down into Mexico as well, and more rain filling in the gaps in Hidalgo County and Cameron County. So we got thunder showers in the forecast today. We'll see how much we can get. The majority of all the nasty energies in the Gulf and up to Corpus and Houston. We're on the weak side of this. But still, we got thunder showers popping up everywhere, so we'll see how much rain we can get. We're under a flash flood watch today, tomorrow, and likely turning off the spigot by Thursday. So keep it tuned to 710 KURV. If it gets exciting and kind of interesting, of course, we'll break programming. Have to talk to AccuWeather about that later in the day. Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on News Talk 710 KURV. So many people moving to Texas, so many people moving to the Rio Grande Valley, and they need a home. And if you know someone, I recommend that you recommend the Ryan and Brian Real Estate Team. They're ready. They help families that are moving in from out of state locate, get them fit with a home that is perfect for them. Randy and Jennifer are an example. They were moving to the area. They settled on mission. They said, okay, We need to move to Mission, Texas. They called the Ryan and Bryan real estate team. Carla understood the sense of urgency because their home had sold where they were moving from, and they wanted to move to Mission. So Carla and the Ryan and Bryan real estate team got to work. And see, every single day, the Ryan and Bryan team, they know the best homes that are being sold in the area. In fact, they even know the homes that will be listed near future before they're actually listed, and that will give you an advantage if you're buying a home. Carla, for example, found one home that Randy and Jennifer loved, and there were some issues that needed to be worked out, and eventually the buyer paid for those repairs and got everything done, and Randy and Jennifer are very, very happy and helped them save a lot of money too. Carla helped, they have awesome negotiating skills. They help them save a lot of money in the purchase of that home. Trust the Ryan and Bryan real estate team with the purchase of your home. And for family or friends moving to the area, recommend the Ryan and Bryan real estate team so that they can do all the inspection and do the virtual online tours of all these homes, and that way they can settle on what they want. The Ryan and Bryan real estate team is at 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbryan.com. That's ryanandbryan.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Bryan. Go to ryanandbryan.com.
Here you go, Dad.
At LSNB, we build strong foundations on values that matter.
And business practices you can rely on.
Investing in education.
Volunteering in the communities we serve.
And fueling our region's economy.
For over 40 years.
Our mission has been supporting area businesses.
We are LSNB.
Donating more money to more causes than all other area banks combined.
Here, in a place we call home. We are LSNB.
The Valley's Bank.
The Valley's destination for luxury automotive is here. Come to Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen and visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power in a new GLC 300. Lease yours today for only just $499 a month for 24 months. Experience a feeling only 140 years of innovation can deliver. The choice is simple at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen, a Bert Ogden Auto Group dealership. A true triumph of luxury, now open at their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen.
When it comes to livestock fencing, the folks at Martin Farm and Ranch believe that if you do it right, then you only do it once, which means by utilizing high-quality materials like Stay Tough fence products and Martin's expertise in fence building, you'll get exactly what you need to keep them in or keep them out. High-tensile wire like Stay Tough allows you to build your fence using less materials and labor. So for your next fence project,
come see us at Martin Farm and Ranch Supply in Edinburgh. Just look for the horse.
News and information to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It's the Pulse of the 956 News Talk 710 KURV. This is the Valley's Morning News. I'm Sergio Sanchez along with show producer Fred Cruz. We have Jason Caterina from AccuWeather, and we have an active thunderstorm weather situation. It should be active today and possibly tomorrow. We have a low pressure system spinning literally just north of us and dusting up the atmosphere with all this thunder shower activity. So for the latest, keep it tuned to 710 KURV. Flash flood watch today and tomorrow, says AccuWeather. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Pelosi. President Trump is at the G7 summit in France, fresh off announcing a peace deal with Iran. He said this, sitting next to the Emir of Qatar.
They will not develop, purchase, buy, or any other thing. They're not going to acquire a nuclear weapon. If they do, all hell will rain down on them.
The war in Ukraine also expected to be a topic of discussion. The FBI revealing they thwarted an alleged plot targeting this past weekend's UFC Freedom 250 event at the White House.
Officials telling Fox a network of nearly 24 potential plotters were identified, and the alleged plan allegedly included explosive-packed drones hitting buildings near the event, forcing a mass evacuation, and then steering crowds, get this, toward a pre-staged sniper team.
Fox's Todd Pyro, America's listening to Fox News.
It's 12 minutes to the hour on News Talk 710 KURV. Cameron County issuing a disaster declaration to help coordinate response to all the heavy rain in the area. What we got yesterday, what's expected and happening today and likely to happen tomorrow. And of course, some of the flooding in the area. The mayor of Weslaco, they got a lot of rain in Mid-Valley, Weslaco area, a lot of flooding in the area. The mayor of Weslaco also signed a local disaster declaration. AccuWeather, the Weather Center, everybody expecting between 5 to 10 more inches of rain here in the Rio Grande Valley by the time everything is turned off, likely by Thursday. And an important note for folks in McAllen, City of McAllen is launching a new system to alert you in the event of some big emergency. They call it the Everbridge Emergency Alert System. It is available for McAllen residents. It can be customized. If you'd like to participate and get information from McAllen in the events of some emergency near future, you can text the word McAllen to 888-777. Thank you for waking up with News Talk 710 KURV. We hope that you find the broadcast and all the programming on KURV Radio on your smartphone. The free app is called Radio Para Mí. Go get it. Has all the sister stations for Radio United, all the music stations, plus us, the redheaded stepchild, the news talk station. It's Radio Para Mí. Download it. It's free. You're not alone. You're not alone. In taking care of mom and dad, you are not alone. I cannot emphasize that enough, more strongly. Healthcare Unlimited was there for me many, many years ago when I needed to take care of my mom and dad. My dad was very, very sick. In fact, he wasn't even able to button a shirt. That was how sick he was. But I can testify, and like testifying in church, a little praise report, right? I can tell you that Healthcare Unlimited was part of that team that helped me take care of my dad in those final years of his life. The Lord called him home from his home. That's how awesome these folks are. Just all the way to the end. It was a team. And Healthcare Unlimited can help you with the daily cleanup and the meal, basic medical things like check the blood pressure, get those stats, how much sugar is in his blood, all those things. And the bath, they're very important, hygiene, make sure everything's all cleaned up so he doesn't get sick or infected. Yeah, you are not alone. Call Healthcare Unlimited. Loving people, wonderful people. I love these folks. I know the owner. I know several of the folks that still work with them. Healthcare Unlimited. Call them. You are not alone in taking care of your mom and dad at their home where they wish to be. The number to call, 956-994-9911.
It's Ram Truck Month. Lease a new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie 4x4 for only $595 a month. Plus, get Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty at Payne Rio in Rio Grande City, Ed Payne Motors in Weslaco, Payne Alice, and Payne Edinburgh. Your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealers in the Rio Grande Valley and throughout southern Texas.
Locate to get us regardless.